But, like I said, it is time now for the real first scientist of today, coming from Bulgaria. Oh my God, Bulgaria, she is a molecular biologist. Please give her a very warm welcome, Nevena Hristozova.
Hi. I knew I'm gonna get tangled in that. Okay. They get PhDs for that? I get it. So yes, Hristozova, by the way, is the name, but that's okay. I can't pronounce his name, so I guess we're even with that. I always find it a bit awkward how my parents gave me that family name, because in Bulgaria, Hristozova literally means belonging to Christ. So I always get puzzled. Either they had absolutely no idea about the evil that had befallen on them, or had a very good idea and tried to pull out this do-it-yourself exorcism tricks kind of thing. I'm not sure. I never asked. I never dared to. But anyway, so I decided at quite early age to prove them wrong, that there's no God. And what's the best way to do that? Become a scientist. And what kind of scientist? Become a biologist, because, you know, biology, Mother Nature, forces of the universe, and so on and so forth. So, it hasn't been working so well proving them wrong, to be honest, because through the years I've realized that I've been becoming more and more selectively religious. The ones of you who are actually doing science, and especially the ones of you who are doing lab experiments, you will know what I'm talking about. Before a big important experiment, I always lately start praying to all possible gods. If it's my religion or not, it doesn't make a difference. I pray to all of them just in case for it to work. It hardly ever does. So then it's actually very comforting, because there's always someone to blame for it not working. It's like, yeah, that bastard up there didn't really help me this time around either. But then when it does work, it's all on me. I'm the one who made that little piece of shit in the lab work, that no one before me made work and no one before me cared to make work, but that's something else. Yeah, apart from the selective religion that I've been picking up recently, I've noticed that I've been becoming more and more superstitious. So I have a few very specific things when I do before conference talks, before big experiments, before talks with my boss, and so on and so forth. So I usually do three main things. The first one is a little rain dance routine, depending how you want to see it. It usually goes something like this: hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 I have to write my thesis. Second thing I often do is arrange my lab space in a very particular Feng Shui, OCD, cows in the order type of thing, to, again, direct the forces of the universe to my experiments, not to the colleagues. And then the last simple thing, I love crossing fingers, which I'm not sure if it's helping, because it's really hard to pipe it when you have your fingers crossed. But science is all about being persistent, so I keep doing it, no matter what. Yeah, among other things, I really like folk superstitions. So my second favorite one of those is that all bad luck comes in 3. And I really like it because it gives me hope about my own life and my own career. And because I started actually counting. First of all, I had my bachelor's, which wasn't all that impressive. Second, I had my master's, which was even less impressive. And now I'm doing my PhD, which, let's be honest, I actually kind of suck at it. But it gives me hope, that rule that the bad luck comes in 3, because whatever I end up doing next means that it will be successful. It has to be. The people way back said so, I will do it. That was my second favorite. My first most favorite superstition that I have, and I really live on it, is the mystical power of ethyl hydroxide. For the ones that are not doing science, this is just alcohol. I don't know if you've been reading lab manuals, how to perform your experiments, written by other scientists. Very often you see these weird times that you have to incubate your sample for 40 minutes. This doesn't mean that someone went through the effort to try their experiment, leaving their tube on the bench for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 an hour, minutes. It just means that we just really, really needed a coffee at some point, and there was a line in the cafeteria, so we just couldn't come back earlier than 40 minutes later. Even more so when you're really depressed about your work and how your life is going in grad school, you see these incubation times overnight. It just means that you went for one drink with your colleagues, and 5 glasses of Chimay Blue later, you realize that you're completely incapable of finishing your experiment, so you just leave it for tomorrow. Maybe you were expecting something more from someone called belonging to Christ, but that's all I can give you. I honestly thought that with my first name, because many people don't use your family name, so Hristozova, whatever, it's okay. I thought that with my first name would be easier. Nevena, many vowels works okay. That was until I started living abroad. And then I started most commonly coming out through people's mouths as Nevena. I don't know why. So I decided to do my research, because it's most awesome to do your research on something that you're not actually hired to do research on. So Wikipedia and Google Translate, a lot of science goes into those too. So I did my research what Nevena means, because sometimes people make these weird relations with something that they can relate on from their own language. And after a lot of digging, it turns out that Nevena in Yiddish means a dirty, lazy woman. I don't speak the language, I don't know. And in Lithuanian, even more so, it means a road leading to nowhere. I started noticing a pattern that I didn't like, so I decided to take the Chinese approach to things. You know how Asian people with unpronounceable names decide to pick a Western name to make our lives easier? So I decided to do the same thing, and again I continued my digging, my research. And I started thinking, okay, my name in Bulgarian is the name of a little orange flower, which is quite cool, I can stick to that. So I started thinking, how is that flower called in different languages? Maybe there will be something easier than Nevena. In Spanish, it's botón de oro. I don't want to be called bouton. So I discarded this. In French, it's called souci, which means to worry, which was getting me a bit more to the Yiddish side of the research, so I dropped that as well. And then the most obvious choice, I tried to see how is it in English. In English was marigold, which is perfect. Marigold sounds easy, sounds cool. So I decided I was thinking, okay, we have a hit on the next meeting, I'm gonna try it. I go to a conference in Cold Spring Harbor last August, and I approached this lady that I really wanted to talk with her about her research. And I introduced myself. Hello, I'm very pleased to meet you. My name is Nevena, but you can call me Mary. She gives me this very blank look as if I discovered the open bar before everyone else. Then she smiles and she goes, "Hi, my name is Washim, but you can call me Ariel." Clearly didn't work out for either of us, so I decided to stick to "Hey you." As long as I know that you're talking to me, everything is fine. Scientists can be weird. I was supposed to talk about awkwardness among scientists, and I was supposed to talk about it because last week in Flanders Today, the English-speaking newspaper, it said that I will talk about that. Now, I never said that I will talk about scientific awkwardness. That's clearly some publishing fraud going on there. But I can't be too mad. I have nothing against, personally, the person who wrote the article. I'm just a little sore about it because that's, after so many years in science, the only published piece of work that has my name on it. Thank you.